Mark chapter 6, starting in verse 30. Meanwhile, the apostles gathered around Jesus and brought him news of all they had done and taught. And he said to them, "Come with me privately to a solitary place, and let us rest for a while." For many people were coming and going, and they did not even have time to eat. So they went away in a boat by themselves to a solitary place. But many people saw them leaving and recognized them. They ran together on foot from all the towns and arrived before them. When Jesus stepped ashore and saw a large crowd, he had compassion on them because they were like sheep without a shepherd. And he began to teach them many things. By now the hour was already late, so the disciples came to Jesus and said, "This is a desolate place, and the hour is already late. Dismiss the crowd so they can go to the surrounding countryside and villages and buy themselves something to eat." But Jesus told them, "You give them something to eat." They asked him, "Should we go out and spend 200 denarii to give all of them bread to eat?" "Go and see how many loaves you have," he told them. And after checking, they said, 5, and 2 fish. Then Jesus directed them to have the people sit in groups on the green grass. So they sat down in groups of hundreds and fifties. Taking the 5 loaves and the 2 fish and looking up to heaven, Jesus spoke a blessing and broke the loaves. Then he gave them to his disciples to set before the people, and he divided the 2 fish among them all. They all ate and were satisfied, and the disciples picked up 12 basketfuls of broken pieces of bread and fish, and there were 5,000 men who had eaten the loaves. Immediately, Jesus made his disciples get into the boat and go on ahead of him to Bethsaida while he dismissed the crowd. After bidding them farewell, he went up on the mountain to pray. When evening came, the boat was in the middle of the sea, and Jesus was alone on land. He could see that the disciples were straining to row because the wind was against them. About the 4th watch of the night, Jesus went out to them walking on the sea. He intended to pass by them, but when they saw him walking on the sea, they cried out, thinking he was a ghost. For they all saw him and were terrified. But Jesus spoke up at once. "Take courage, it is I. Do not be afraid." Then he climbed into the boat with them, and the wind died down. And the disciples were utterly astounded, for they had not understood about the loaves, but their hearts had been hardened. When they had crossed over, they landed at Gennesaret and moored the boat. As soon as they got out of the boat, the people recognized Jesus and ran through that whole region, carrying the sick on mats to wherever they heard he was. And wherever he went, villages and towns and countrysides, they laid the sick in the marketplaces and begged him just to let them touch the fringe of his cloak, and all who touched him were healed.